can the plan or can the provider balance bill in that situation?
Well, I mean, this is where I think what I said in the beginning is sort of relevant. This is where the item or the service is medically necessary, and the question is whether the individual has any responsibility. We sort of take ourselves out a bit of the balance billing bucket and then to another bucket if we're dealing with a situation where an individual has received a service. There's also a form that that individual will have to sign in order to take responsibility for that service in case Medicare doesn't pay. But if that individual didn't know or had no reason to know that that wouldn't be covered by Medicare and they didn't sign that form, then they may not be held responsible. But there are situations where beneficiaries might be held responsible if an item or service wasn't medically necessary and if they were informed that that would be a possibility. But that's a lot more complexity, I think, than we have time to go through on this webinar. But that takes us a bit more outside of the pure balance billing situation.
Great. And I have a few more questions, but before jumping in, Georgia and Anita, I just wanted to give you a chance in case you saw anything in the questions that you wanted to address that hasn't come up, or anything else that jumped to mind that you haven't had a chance to share.
I see one question here asking whether it applies, whether what we talked about applies to dual eligibles who are non-seniors, and it does. This is not something that's simply for seniors. It's for anyone who is a dual eligible or a QIMBY, whether it's based on disability and you're 64 and younger, or whether it's based on age and you're 65 and above. And I too wanted to thank folks who gave